Hey guys, Cor here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm having an okay day myself, Bit of a long day. Very long day actually. It's currently it's like 5 a.m. I haven't slept yet, but that's okay. We don't worry about that. Today we're doing r/am I the silly bugger. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, let's just jump into it. Am I the silly bugger for buying my daughter toys and refusing for my niece? My sister is acting entitled about it all, saying horrible things. My husband Dean, 29, and I, 26 female, have a wonderful little girl Lisa, and she's 4. I'm a musician by trade, so my work has pretty much stopped and my husband has been working a lot the past few months. I'm basically at home all the time with Lisa, and she is missing her dad a lot, as she's his double and 100% a daddy's girl. Anyways, I met up with my sister Rose recently and we ended up visiting a toy store. I saw this male doll which looked a lot like Dean and decided to buy it for Lisa so that she would always have a reminder of her daddy. Rose was miffed by this and demanded I buy my niece Flora also for a doll. For years, Rose has been trying to basically force me to treat her daughter the same or better than her own. Here are some examples of her behavior. There's only 5 months between the girls, and I've had to deal with Rose being weird about that fact for years and during my pregnancy. Lisa is my second daughter, as I had a stillborn daughter in late 2014 at 20, and it broke me. Rose witnessed this, and when she announced her pregnancy, she was horrible and said that she was expecting the first grandchild, saying my daughter didn't count as she died, whilst her parents and family said it was the second grandchild. Then, when I got pregnant again, Rose was weird about it, saying I shouldn't have gotten pregnant so quickly, and accused me of stealing her thunder of the new grandchild. There's some other occasions where she just expects our kids to share everything or make everything about Flora for being the first grandchild, and I've had to put up with it. Anyway, Rose kept on insisting and I just snapped and said, no, I am sick of you pushing your kid onto me and basically making my one take a back seat. I am buying my kid a doll literally to make her happy because she's missing her daddy. Buy your own kid a toy. I ended up buying the toy and walking off. She went tattling to our parents, adding dramatic flair to the story, calling me a massive B word for refusing to buy my niece a toy. My dad is on my side, saying I've had to put up with her glorifying her kid for years whilst ignoring mine, whilst my mum thinks I should give in to her. My husband says he's sick of Rose, and she even brought up my dead daughter again, saying she'd be ashamed of her mummy. That reduced me to tears, and I told her she's dead to me, but my mum insists I apologise to Rose. Edit, the girls weren't with us. Yeah, you're definitely not the silly bugger in this situation. It's a shame that your sister feels the need to basically force her, her daughter down your throat. Yeah, and her comment about your stillborn child would be ashamed of you. That's completely horrible, and I hope you know that that's not true. Well, I don't know you as a person, but I'm assuming that's not true. That's a really horrible thing to say to someone, and I'm sorry she said that, so yeah. Am I the silly bugger for refusing to lie about my husband having a favourite child? When I met my husband, he had a 15-year-old daughter who was for the most part easy to get along with, although ridiculously spoiled. His daughter's mother had some mental issues, and he was a single dad for most of her childhood. He said he never wanted kids and that she had been a result of a birth control failure and that he didn't want any more. I told him that not having kids was a deal breaker for me, and he quickly reconsidered. His daughter was 17 when our daughter was born, and I was shocked at how jealous she was. In general, she is not the clingy, emotional type, but she was furious. He made it his point to make her feel better and reassure her that she was always going to be the important one. My stepdaughter went to college and thrived, and we had another child. She wasn't even jealous at the time, but he still made a big production of loving her more. Right now, our kids are 13 and 15, and my stepdaughter is 32, married with kids, and living on her own, but it is still pretty clear that he favours her. They talk on the phone almost daily, but he has a hard time talking to our daughters because they're too emotional. Right now, he is visiting his oldest daughter at her beach house, and we weren't invited because she hates our 13-year-old. My daughter did go through a phase of being very rude and acting out, but we did therapy and discipline, and it is under control right now. I said he shouldn't get to see his daughter because it is rude to exclude his wife and kids, and he said he doesn't care if she is rude, she is still his daughter. In the past, when the kid said something, I made excuses for him. We FaceTimed today and my 13-year-old made a comment about my stepdaughter being his favorite. And I just said, I'm sorry, honey. When the kids got off the phone, he got mad at me for not correcting her. But I said I'm not going to lie anymore about it. He has admitted to me in private that she is her favorite, but he says it's not his fault and he can't control how he feels. Obviously, you're not the silly bugger. This is one of those situations that's kind of sad, where it feels like the father isn't necessarily as invested in your children with him than he is with his firstborn, which, I mean, it's understandable to a certain extent, but yeah, you should never have favorites when it comes to children, because that's really toxic. So yeah. Am I the silly bugger for not correcting my stepson when he said both of his mums? I've been a part of my stepson's life since he was 2. Now he's 5. My husband and his ex are both very involved parents and split custody equally. I don't parent him unless there's a serious issue and my partner needs help. I play more of the aunt role than a parent in his life, but I'm always there when he's staying the nights/days with his father. I usually drop him off to daycare when he's at our house, etc., and his mum or dad pick him up, depending on where he's spending the night. I'm not sure whether they've had the stepmom talk with him, but he's never addressed me as such, and I've never pushed him into it. If he wishes to call me that, that's fine. If he wants to call me by my name, that's also fine. I was driving him to his daycare and we were going through my kid-friendly playlist. My favorite song played. He pointed out that his mother liked the song and I said, hey, me too. His exact words were, cool, both my mums like the same song. I didn't think too much of it. He must have said the same thing to his mother, because when I came home after work, my husband confronted me. I told him yes, he had said both his mums. My husband said that I should have corrected him then and there, and I'm not his mum. I said I don't mind being called whatever by the kid as long as it's not derogatory. What he should/shouldn't call me is a talk reserved for his parents, and I'm not allowed to parent him. He flipped the argument. Since I don't parent him, I shouldn't be called mum. I told him that this is an issue that he and his ex have to handle. I won't push the child into calling/not calling me something. TLDR, my stepson said, both my mums like the same song. My husband and his ex think I should have corrected him, but I don't think there's anything wrong with saying it, and it isn't my place. Am I the silly bugger? I don't see the issue here at all. Maybe I'm ignorant, but I don't see what the issue is here at all. Why are they upset with you for not correcting him? I mean, it's kind of correct. You know, you are a mother figure to him. If he sees you as a mother, then that's what you are. In my opinion, it's a misconception that you're born into your family. I think you're born into a family, sure, but what becomes your family is who you choose. And if you choose for somebody to be a mother alongside your own mother, that's fine. That's what that child has done. He sees you as a mother. I don't see how this is wrong. I don't know. Am I the silly bugger for making fun of a woman for being in her 40s and single? This whole saga started because my husband took my last name. A couple weeks ago, he got his workplace to change it and his co-workers found out. About half of them think it's the funniest thing ever, and about half are deeply offended. Brenda is the offended half, and has made that clear. He and I are in a group chat with his co-workers where we organise carpooling during the pandemic. It is very helpful to us, so we can't leave the chat. Since he changed his name, my husband and I have been dealing with a lot of dumb jokes in the chat, which we have been mostly ignoring. Yesterday, Brenda, his co-worker, and I got into a bit of a spat. I messaged the group chat asking if someone could take my husband home since I wouldn't be back from work until late and needed the car. One of his other co-workers agreed, and I thought that was that. Brenda messaged the group saying maybe if you spent less time at work and more time being a wife, your husband wouldn't come into work with dirty shirts. I took this as a bad joke initially. My husband is a rural male carrier, so his shirts look like shirts worn by somebody in 90-degree heat on dusty roads. I do wash them, but there's only so much to be done. Me. I could make cleaning those shirts my full-time job and it wouldn't do much, lol. Brenda, you won't be married very long if you keep trying to be the man in the relationship. I would be embarrassed as a wife if I did so little for my husband. Me. Well, I work more hours and pay the bills, so I think he can OxyClean his own shirts if it's so important. Brenda, maybe you should learn to take proper care of your husband or you will find yourself divorced. Me. I'll let you know when I need relationship advice from somebody who is 42 and single. Now, apparently Brenda is going around and saying that I mocked her for being single in her 40s. I don't care if somebody's single in their 40s, but I think it's absolute BS that she can call me a bad wife, but I can't point out she has no frame of reference. Am I the silly bug of Reddit? Once again, gonna have to go with no, absolutely not. By the sounds of it, Brenda is somebody who's kind of stuck in the past with some of her mindsets and doesn't quite understand how modern marriages work, which I mean, hey, you know, you do you, Brenda. If you want to get into an incredibly toxic 1930s style marriage, please, by all means, but I wouldn't recommend it, you know. There doesn't need to be a clear breadwinner in the family, and it doesn't have to be a male. It's okay to take the woman's last name. Yeah, guys can do laundry. What an absolute shocker. I would be happy with a wife that just like occasionally makes dinner. That's like all I ask for. And is a good mother and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. All right, and I think that's where we're going to end this video. So if you guys have liked this video, make sure to leave a like. If you're new here, maybe even subscribe. Massive thank you and shout out to my channel members, especially Florian and Liam Rosengarten. You guys are amazing and I love you. Anyways, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Bye.